know he's thankful for his wife. Y'all continue to pray for them. And I'm just glad we could do this, and I'm glad that the commissioners voted to come and do that here, and also for the nursing home, for those that are, Mr. Hall, he talked with us earlier, and them allowing us to have it, and those that were here at 6 o'clock, they fed us tonight, which I thought was real good. The food was good. So we're going to carry on our business like we always do. And but I do want to just take a few moments just to before we do roll call. Here's my wife here. I will say this: there's a lot of important people in this room, but my wife's the most important person personally in my personal life, other than my Lord and Savior. But I got a good family. My wife hadn't been. I think this might be the second county commission meeting she's probably been to since I've been county mayor. He asked me to come tonight. I didn't even ask her because I didn't think anything about it, to be honest with you. But I don't know that until you served in this capacity, you really don't know what it really takes away from your family. And I'm not going to think about that. I was going to run for it. Man told me that one time. I was fussing about it one day. He said, "I don't want to hear it. You was going to run for it." So I understand. But you know, when I took office, see, Matthew was 6 and Lauren was 9, I believe, and that's my children, Lauren, Caleb, and Matthew Nesbitt. But they were both young kids, and they are both grown up while I've been in office. So I'm thankful to have. I've got good kids too. So, but I want to just make a special recognition of my wife, Leanne Nesbitt. She stood by me. I'm not sure she voted for me in the last election. She stood by me. So, all right. And Potsy, we just want to recognize you, a special recognition tonight. We've got other recognitions to do tonight. Mr. Knight, you've been really good about opening county court meetings, and the sheriff done a really good job for us. Thank you, Steve, and Stephen. We thank you for all that you've done for us too. And Eugene's not with us tonight, but they've done a really good job for us at the county, from the courthouse, the old historic courthouse where we started out, and now we're in the new jail and court facility. And also, I'd like to recognize, and I know they're going to speak a little bit later on, but Representative Terry Lynn Weaver, thank you for being here tonight. Senator Mark Pody, thank you for being here tonight. And as I said, I don't think there's ever been a county commission meeting that's been held at the nursing home facility. And a lot of people here that maybe not ever visited here. I've had opportunities to preach in this room before. We've had opportunities to come and sing for the people here before. And just please keep all of them in your prayers, their families in your prayers, please. At this time, I'm going to ask Miss Stacy Bush, before she does that, there's some other people in the room that I'd like to make recognition of. And Miss Sherry Davis and Miss Ginger Ramsey, they're here tonight, and I didn't invite them to come tonight. And I said, "Why y'all here?" And I didn't invite y'all. I said, "We know you didn't invite us." There's a reason for that, but I'm glad you're here, but I didn't know if I could really talk if everybody was in the room. I'll say this, Sherry's been a great friend to me, and you know, through the years, I think about, you know, the hard days. Sherry was always that person. She'd stop and pray for me. She would stop and she would remind me what's important. As you said, or Mr. Hall said, those things that are important in our lives, and Sherry reminded me of that many times. Miss Daisy Denton, of course, worked for me for several years too, and Sonia King worked for me there in the office there at one time. But you know, you got to have good staff, and you got to have good county commissioners to make the county go forward, and we've been able to do that. So, and I'm sure I left out some people in the room. My daughter just walked in with her grandson. I don't know that they've ever been to a county court meeting, but
I spent plenty of time at them when I was little.
Plenty of time. But Jude is special in our lives too. I used to hear people talk about their grandkids, and I think, man, they're silly the way they act over them grandkids. And why is it such a big deal? You know, then you have one, you figure it out. So it is a big deal. So this time I want to ask Miss Stacy Bush, she will, to give a roll call to members present. Potsy, remember, raise your hand, please, before we know.
Billy Halliburton. Mark Jones.
Here.
Glenn Reese. Larry Edelman.
Here. Philip Enoch,
There it is. There we go. He's here.
Billy Bass,
Here.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Here.
Carolyn Bowles,
Present.
Daniel Cripps,
Here.
Pam Billington, Shannon Minchie, Matthew Enyart,
Here.
Ron Cowan,
Here.
Linda Nixon,
Here.
Billy Woodard,
Here.
Barbara Knappel. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Okay. Charles Kent,
Here.
Joey Nixon,
Here.
Tommy Bain,
Here.
Dennis Hackett,
Here.
Thomas Gibbs,
Here.
David Gross,
Here.
Frank Woodard,
Here.
How many have present? Have 20 members present. That is a quorum. And next item on the agenda, item number 5. By the way, for those of you that know, Mr. Glenn Reeves, he contacted me today. They're in Vacation Bible School. He's not here. Mr. Shannon Minchie, he's on vacation with his family. And of course, Mr. Billy Halliburton had a stroke a few months ago, and he's doing better, but he's still not able to be here. So y'all continue to remember him. All right, item number 5, presentation of years of service for all acting Smith County Commissioners. Mr. Charlie Curtis, he's here with the County Commissioners Association. He's got some things to present. Y'all just, you keep your seat, and I'm gonna come to you, and Eddie, if you don't care, I'll get them to stand that we're presenting. Can you take a picture? Sit that down, that way y'all don't have to get up and move around. Okay? Just follow me.
Yes, sir.
All right.
He's
I'm Bob Young.
I can make it.
David Rose. This flag says in appreciation, Mr. David Gross, Smith County Commission, served on the commission from 2006 to 2018. I've had the opportunity to serve with you every year that I've been here. Thank you. Charlie, want to give him this certificate?
David, I appreciate your service to this county and to this state. Thank you, sir.
Joey Nixon. Gotta get you up here a little bit. Mr. Joey Nixon served on the county commission from 2006 to 2018, and I also had the opportunity to serve with him every year that I've been here. Joey's been our budget and finance chairman now for how many years? Eight years. So, Mr. Nixon, we appreciate, he not only is he a commissioner, not only is he budget and finance chairman, he's a good friend to me, and I appreciate his friendship more than anything.
Present you this certificate. Thank you for your service to this county and this state. The reason I mention the state, the foundation this state's built on is county government. The better you run this county, the better the state is. That's the reason I'm here tonight. Thank you, sir. That, the fact that Stacy told me I had to be here.
Dennis Hackett. Mr. Dennis Hackett served on the county commission from 2013 to 2018. I appreciate all that you've done for the county too. There'll be no family left in the county.
Appreciate your service to this county and this state. Thank you.
Thomas Allen Gibbs has served on Smith County Commission from 2014 to 2018. And this plaque at the bottom, I didn't read the other, I'm just gonna read it one time. But now therefore be it resolved by the Smith County Commission, Smith County Mayor, that this assembled body of elected officials go on record paying honor and recognition for all the years of service and dedication to Mr. Thomas. Thomas, thank you for your friendship and your service to the community.
Thank you for your service to this county. this state.
And this one's to Mr. Villapini. We served together from day one, 2002 until 2018. I think the most memorable thing was we took a trip one time to Alamo, and we got off the plane, and obviously he decided he'd carry my baggage for me that day. So he worked hard that day. We went, we traveled, we had business ventures we had to do there. So I appreciate your service to our community. I appreciate your friendship. Thank you for being come tonight. Bless you. All right.
Just want to present this to you, appreciate your service to this county. Appreciate all the love I see in this room tonight. You must be one heck of a commissioner. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mark Jones. Mark Jones, served on the county commission from 2014 to 2018. That was up, I'll do the same thing for Bill. Mark Jones, Fort County Mayor. I appreciate your service, sir.
Mark, thank you for your service to this county and this state. My mother was a Jones, the best blood in my veins was Jones.
Tommy Bain. Mr. Bain has served on the commission from 2010 to 2018. He has truly been a friend to me and my family. And I think my son thinks more of him than he does me.
Thank you for your service to this county and this state. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Linda Nixon. First lady. Let's see if we get out here. What's that? I said I wasn't gonna make y'all walk. but I'm going to. Ms. Linda Nixon, served on the county commission from 2010 to 2018. Ms. Linda, thank you for being a friend of this county, being a friend of the organization. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. All right.
Ma'am, good to see you. Thank you for your service to this county and this state.
Frank Wood, come on down. Frank's the only county commissioner I've ever seen made a motion and then voted against his own motion. Thank you for your service, Frank. Actually, you served on the county commission 2 different times, 1986 to 2010, and 2014, 2018. 28 years.
28 years.
Thank you,
All right,
Frank.
appreciate your service, brother. Sometimes it's better to use your head and your heart.
That's a $50 bond.
Mr. Billy Bass. I want to say this about Billy. Billy was county executive when I was elected, and Billy has truly been a friend to me too. Anything that I needed, that I asked him about, he's always been willing to answer that. And also, he's really good about catching errors in the county commission packet. He will find them when nobody else will. So thank you for your service, Mr. Billy, from 2010 to 2018. Sorry. And you served as county executive for 4 years, 98, 2002. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for your service to this county and this state. Thank you, sir.
Pam Billington. I'm in the trustee Colby sitting right over here, so we'll do that. Ms. Pam Billington served on the county commission from 2012 to 2018. Ms. Pam has been very active in our community and very active on the county commission. So thank you, Ms. Pam. You served on budget and finance for how many years? 3 years.
And I thank you for your service to this county and the state.
Ron Cowan. Ron Cowan has served on the county commission from 2006 until 2018. Ron, thank you for your friendship, all your dedication. It's been good, hasn't it?
Thank you for your service to this county and this state.
Mr. Larry Edelman. Mr. Larry was appointed by the county commission in 2017, and he's serving until currently. And appreciate Mr. Larry's service. He served on several committees, and appreciate your friendship, sir. Yes.
I appreciate your service, to the county and the state.
Billy Woodard. Bill Woodard has served on the county commission from 1998 to 2018. How many years? What, 20 years, how about that? Yeah.
2 decades.
2 decades. Also, as I said with Mark, Billy's running for county mayor also, and I just pray that whoever is elected, that you'll just have as much money as I have, and the Lord will be as good to you as it's been to me. So, Billy, thank you for your friendship, thank you for your service to the community. Yes, sir.
Betty, thank you for your service to this county and this state. Good to see you again, my friend.
Ms. Barbara Knapp. Barbara Knapp has served on the county commission from 2010 to 2018. Ms. Barbara has many important jobs, but the one thing that she does is really beneficial to this community. That's a battle that we're all fighting. It's the Smith County Drug Coalition. And we're battling a lot of addictions in Smith County, just like we are throughout the United States. Ms. Barbara and her team are doing their best to try to fight that, and I'll just continue to pray for them and that they will continue to do that. Barbara, thank you for your friendship and your service.
Thank you for your service to this county and your battle you're conducting in the state. Thank you.
Mr. Charles Kent. I think it mixed up when we have roll call, or I call him a name, or he makes a motion, I'll call him Chad. Of course, that's what everybody knows him as. Mr. Charles Kent served on the county commission from 2010 to 2018. One thing I'll say about Mr. Charles Kent, he's a good Christian man, and I appreciate him being that first and foremost.
Charles, thank you for your service to this county and this state.
This is for Mr. Earl North. I just want to explain to y'all why he's not here. I called him about an hour ago because of my shortness. He couldn't be here. I called him and said, "You think you got enough time to get here in an hour?" And he said, "I doubt it." He said, "I just got done mowing the yard." So that's not going to happen. I'll get that to him another time. Mr. Matthew Enier. He also was a commissioner that was appointed after someone has moved out of their district and resigned. So Mr. Matthew Enier served county commission 2017 to 2018. But that short period of time, I've noticed that Commissioner Enier is a good commissioner. He cares about his community, and he don't mind if I call him by the wrong name or don't call him at all. He don't mind if we get the minutes wrong. He'll remind us. All he does. Thank you.
Matthew, thank you for your service to the county and the state.
Jimmy Winfrey. Commissioner Winfrey has served on the county commission from 2002 to 2018. And Commissioner Winfrey has been a really good friend of this county, a good friend to me. And Jimmy, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done. He's helped me throughout a lot of, I guess, struggles myself. And I hope I've helped you in some way. All right? Bless you. He's trying to get away from me, John. Mr. Daniel Cripps. Mr. Daniel Cripps served on the county commission from 2006 to 2018. Also been a good friend of this community. He's like me, who's got a good wife, that can keep him straight. All right,
And I appreciate your service to this county and state.
Last but not least, Ms. Carolyn Bowles. Ms. Carolyn Bowles has served on the county commission from 2008 to 2018. Ms. Carolyn has been willing to serve on any committee that she's been appointed to.
So totally fine.
Anyone can? Thank you, Ms. Carolyn.
Carolyn, we appreciate your service to this county and this state.
Yes, sir. And I know I handed out just a few of those boxes, but the rest of them over there, and I thought y'all don't need somebody else sitting on the desk in front of me, so I apologize for that. Item number 6 is presentation of statewide updates and certificates for years of service from Senator Mark Pody. Senator Pody, if you want to come forward, and also Representative Weaver, if y'all will come forward. Senator Pody, of course, he was one time Representative Pody, and he represented another district. And I tell this every time I see him, I can't help it, but the first time I met Mark, I was in a board meeting, and things weren't going exactly right in that board meeting, and Mark, he basically told us he had straightened it up, or there were some things going to happen, and we did straighten it up. And he caught my attention that day. I respected him that day. I won't say that I wasn't aggravated, but I respected him for what he said. And so I appreciate Mark and what he has done, and now as our senator and Representative Weaver, and they've got some items they'd like to present here to you tonight. Terry Lynn has done a good job for Smith County also, and thank you for your service. All right, you go ahead, y'all, say what you need to say.
Okay. Well, first, I just want to mention that I've heard it say that the greatest prize life has to offer is the opportunity to work hard at work worth doing. And so I want to commend every one of you in this room that have run for office, are sitting in the office and doing the people's business and working. And it is my prayer, as always, as we work for the people, they are our boss, and that we lay our head, at the end of the day, we lay our head down on our pillow and we can say, well done. We've done good work. And I look out here and I see star citizens and star servants for this county, for this state. And it's just an honor to be in the room here with you. And thank you for letting us bring these certificates to add to your goodie bag. I will just, should I call or just take
You'll
it?
just, if you'll say who they are, I'll take it to them, or
I can, yeah, we can keep that going. Pam Billington. These are certificates to honor you and for your dedication.
yes, ma'am.
Senator Mark Pody and myself have signed this. You know, I just also want to say, we are a legislative body in the state, just as you are the legislative body here in the county. And so we all do the same thing. We just got bigger ground to cover. But again, we represent the good folks in our district. And this goes to Glenn Reese.
He's absent tonight.
Yeah, he went here. And I have some other ones that were not here too, and I apologize for not. Jimmy Winfrey? Matthew? Ron? No. Here you are. Linda Nixon? Phil Woodard? Thank you. Barbara? And I appreciate you all you're doing with the Drug Coalition. Charles? Jazz? Andy Rutherford?
I'll take
He's
it.
not here.
He served on the county commission, and he has resigned, so they moved to federal.
And Tommy Bain? There you are. You're welcome, thank you. Dennis? Thank you. Joey Nixon?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Gibbs? There you are. Thank you so much. David Gross? Thank you. Frank Woodard? Thank you. Larry Edel? Daniel Cripps? Thank you. Carolyn Foltz? Thank you for your service. Mr. Billy Bass? Thank you. Hot? Thank you for your service, sir. You're a rock star. And Mr. Mark Jones. Again, I want to thank every one of you. Anyone who runs for office and serves, you're all rock stars. Give yourself a nice round of applause. Senator.
Wow, I've been to a lot of county commissions. Nobody's ever fed me like this before, okay? So I just want to tell you, this is a fun one to be with. But I want to tell you something about Charlie Curtis.
Uh-oh.
All right? Charlie and I actually served together, as did Representative Weaver and myself. That man led the General Assembly in prayer. He had prayer meetings every single week. He prayed for the people he represented. He prayed for all of Tennessee. And I'm going to tell you, that was a pleasure serving with you. Y'all, he is a good person to represent you all at the state. He knows what's going on. He knows the inside and the outside of what happens at the state, and he can help navigate some of those things. I do want to give you an update on some things that passed at the state legislature so you know how it's going to affect your county. One of them, we did pass. It's not going to affect anybody in the room, but anybody that's elected in November as a county commissioner is going to be required to take a 7-hour training course. What you all do makes a big difference. How you spend the money, how budgets and how the laws work. So there's going to be a free course that's going to be available, but we did mandate saying that we want the county commissioners to go to this school and go to this class so they can learn exactly the ins and outs and how to be correct with what they're doing. So that's going into effect. If you're currently a county commissioner, you're reelected, it doesn't affect you. If you choose that you're a new county commissioner and you don't do it, there's no downside. There's no punishment to it. It's just going to be recorded that you didn't go. However, we felt so important that the work that you all do here, we want you to have all the training and support that you need. So that's something we did. We also said that there was a law that wasn't being necessarily enforced. That has to do with every business license that goes, we want $3, so that's supposed to be going to the computer program and for technology and such. And not all the counties were doing that, so we made sure that that happened. There was some of the recording things that we did that were obsolete. One of them said that you were supposed to get stuff back here every single year. It hadn't been done for over 10 years, so we took some of those kind of laws off, which should help. Another thing we did was we tried to give the counties more choices on how they bid. So the state can bid for contracts one way, and we said that it was important enough that the state could have those kind of contract bidding options. We passed some of those things on down to the county as well. And I know Charlie will be able to tell you all the things that have actually happened. We also passed a bill that said that if you're a volunteer fireman or EMS, the state part of your license, once a year you get a free license plate every single year. We know that our firemen, they cover over 80% of the state. They do it without any kind of compensation. They do it on their own time. They have to raise their own money for their own turnout suits and so forth across the state. So we just wanted to reach out and say thank you. So we did say that we're going to let them have a license plate once per year. Okay, I want to tell you something else. The resolutions that you all pass, when you say the state, we feel this is important and it's important enough for you all to pass a resolution that comes down to us, I read those. In fact, when I was elected, I went to your county mayor, and he sent me resolutions that were passed a couple of years ago, so I would know exactly what this commission wanted to happen. I want to stay in touch with you. I'm going to tell you, I work for this commission. I need to be responsive to this commission, and I got to actually come back. I'm hoping to come back twice a year in front of this commission. So when you want something done at the state legislature, you can tell me ahead of time. And after we're done, after it's over, in the spring, I need to come back here and be accountable to each one of you. That if I'm stepping on the toes of the county, I better have my reasons why. If I'm not doing something that you know, I want to face you, and I better have my reasons If I haven't done the way that you all wanted, I better know why. All right, so I'm here to be responsive to y'all. Next, there's a couple of TDOT, and we got somebody here from TDOT, okay? But I've got to tell you, I went through all the counties. I cannot take any credit on this. None. Zero. I've only represented this county for 7 months. But when I went through the TDOT list of all 962 projects that they're going on here, and I compared Smith County to all the other counties that I represent, you had over a dozen here. Some of the counties that I represent, they had just 2. Clay County, Macon County. This county, you all have a lot of TDOT projects being spent right here. So I want to tell you, underneath the leadership that you all have, underneath Mayor, I got to credit you, I got to credit Terry Lynn. Now she's chairman of one of the TDOT subcommittees. So you all have gotten more than what your share would actually be if we looked at it countywide that way. You all have gotten a lot of things coming to you from TDOT. And I do have a list of the projects if somebody wanted to go through them at some point. I did ask, and I was down in Gordonsville, and they were asking me, they said, Mark, we'd like to see what's going on with 264. And at this point, as far as we know, that's going to be let out. It should be repaving later on this fall, okay, on 264. Now, I have something that I want to do. And I've got to tell you, the very first time I met your mayor, he and I did not get along very well. And I will tell you that I've come to know this man, and the reason we didn't get along was my fault. I said some things that I shouldn't have said the way I said them. My heart was right, and I wanted to do right, but I was brand new. The way I was doing it perhaps could have been different, okay? However, he's forgiven me, and we have worked very well together. I've served on a number of boards with him, a number of different boards, and he has always tried to put the citizens of this state first. He has always stood up for the Christian values that he preaches on Sunday. He has them on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So as he's retiring, I wanted to do this. Tennessee Senate, a joint resolution, 925. And when we say joint resolution, and there's a number, that means it will be in the history books of Tennessee forever. So your children, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren will find this in the history of Tennessee. And it says, to honor the Smith County Mayor, Michael Nesbitt, upon the occasion of his retirement, whereas it is fitting that the members of the General Assembly recognize those inestimable Tennesseans who have devoted their lives of public service. And one such individual is Michael Nesbitt, who has served admirably as mayor of Smith County for the last 16 years in his recent announcement that he would not seek re-election, bringing to a close of 4 terms of invaluable service to the residents of Smith County. I want to tell you what he has done. And I can't tell you that it was myself. It's only between him and Representative Weaver, because I was not representing you all at this time. But since 2011, Smith County, in education, extra money from the state, $1,963,000 of extra money for education. Commitments of capital investments and new jobs, Smith County 101 with $11,750,000. Now I want to share just a little bit. If I put that in perspective, if I were to look at Cannon County, about the same size, not 11 million, they got 3. If I look at Macon County, they got 1 million, not 11. If I look at the total amount of money of transportation brought into this county compared to the other counties. Cannon County got 33 million, or about $2,000 per resident. Clay County, 19 million, or about $2,400 per resident. Macon County, 44, they got about $2,000. Smith County, $58,003,000, almost 50% more per resident here than the peer counties around it. I got to tell you, between what you did and what you did, that was leadership bringing things that are needed to this county during this time period. And I cannot take any credit for that, okay? I'm just reporting back what the numbers are. So my hat's off to your leadership, Mayor and Representative, for what you all did. So go as, be it resolved that the state of Tennessee, the Senate of the 110th General Assembly, the state of Tennessee, the House of Representatives concurring, that we now honor Smith County Michael Nesbitt and commending him for his 4 exceptional terms as mayor and wishing him all the best as he enters a much-deserved retirement. This is signed by Randy McNally, Speaker of the Senate, Beth Harwell, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Governor Bill Haslam. Let's give him a hand.
That's enough about me. Mark, but thank you. Only thing I have to disagree with, Mark, is you said retirement. I tried that one. I thought if my wife would get a second job, I wouldn't worry about the next one. But she didn't have that, so I am going to work. And so, but thank you for all the kind words, Terry Lynn. Thank you, and thank you for recognizing all these people in this room. And there's no way one person can do anything. You just can't do that. It takes everybody working together. And I'll say this on behalf of this county, the city mayors, the county mayor, commissioners, for the most part, we get along really well. If we have a disagreement, we get over it, and if we get it behind us and we go on and do business. And that's really the way you got to do business. You know, it doesn't, there's a lot of things that goes on around us that people can't agree on, and they don't. Once you have a disagreement, you can't never get along ever in your life. Well, that just don't make any sense to me. You know, if I disagree with you, Bill, me and you disagree, we just have to agree to disagree. We go on. And so, thank you for all the kind words you said. Like I said, that is enough about me, and we're going to go on about some business now. And item number 8 on your agenda is the approval of the County Commission minutes from June the 25th of 2018. Do what? Oh, do what? I forgot something. Sorry. Mark Farley, come on up. Thank you. It's just good to have good people around you. See, I just said you can't do that by yourself. This time I'm going to call on Mark Farley, the Executive Director of the Upper Cumberland Development District. And this is a really, really important award. I won't let him explain to you, but it's to all of us and our whole community. So Mark.
Well, thank you. I looked at the size of your packet there, and I hope I wasn't going to be at the end of that packet. No
This is short compared to the last one.
Oh, my
The last one was 244 pages.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
I appreciate Mayor Nesbitt allowing me to come and present this to you tonight. You know, a lot of times the mayors, because they work full-time, they get to be at a lot of the events during the daytime. They get to receive the plaques and get the pats on the back. When I realized from my time in county government, you're the one that did a lot of the hard work and the hard lifting in some of these projects, and I appreciate his willingness to let me come and be a part of this evening to present this to you. I want to just share, I've got some staff members with us. I've got Tommy Lee, who is the planner and heads up the Economic Development Department at the Development District. And I've got 2 of Smith County's finest that works for me, and I'm very proud to have them. Virginia Salamini, and I've got a Bain girl back here. I don't know if y'all recognize her. Leah Bain, I'm going to tell you, she's a pleasure to have as well, and I appreciate them coming out to be with us as well this evening. You know, the Upcoming Development District, we represent 14 counties across the Upper Cumberland. And you know, we're charged with trying to grow your economy, try and grow the jobs and the wealth of these regional counties. And you know, every year we look across and Development District tries to select one county we want to recognize as going above and beyond. I was in a staff meeting this morning with many of the staffers, and of course they're much younger than I am. And I told them, you know, in my 51 years, there's some of our communities, some of our counties that I look at, and they're not really much different when I was 18, 19 years old. And then there's others that have changed drastically, and they're growing, and they're improving, and they're offering opportunities for their citizens. I put Smith County in that category. You have done an excellent job. You've made quite a few investments. Obviously, Senator Pody talked about the grant opportunities, but you've also made investments from your tax base into your community, and we appreciate that. It makes our job of trying to grow the region that much better. And I do have this plaque. It is from the Upper Cumberland Development District. It represents Smith County as the Community of the Year for 2017-18. It is my pleasure to present this, Mayor, on behalf. Now, I won't take just one. I've got to take just a second. Ms. Nesbitt, I know these are big doors. I hope the doors in your house are big enough to get his head in. And we take him home later on tonight. I've had the distinct pleasure of traveling to Nashville with Mayor Nesbitt. I've had the great pleasure traveling to Washington to talk with our senators and our congressmen on many behalves. You have been truly a voice, not just for Smith County, but for the region as a whole. It's always been a pleasure. You have represented our region and your home county tremendously, and we thank you for everything you've done, and you will be missed. Trust me that.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And on behalf of the Development District, I've been a supporter of the Development District from day one, and still that way today. We've had some really good times, and we've had some challenging times, but we made it through all of those. And they do a lot. There's no telling where we are as far as the amount of grants that the Development District has written for us. It's in the millions of dollars. Me and you and everybody that's in our county is paid out in tax dollars. We got those back into our community to help our people. So thank you, Mark, for that. Now we move on to item number 8. How about that? I'd like to ask for approval of the June 25th, 2018 minutes found on pages 2 through 15. Were there any corrections to be made to any of the minutes? If not, I entertain a motion to approve them as presented.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Matthew Inyard. Second by Dennis Hackett. Approve the minutes from June 25th, 2018. Anyone want to speak to the motion? If not, all in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Sheriff, are you going to take care of this on the presentation of the Tennessee Correction Institute inspection report, the Smith County Jail and Court Facility? It's on here. Do you want to say anything? Why don't you just say just a few words about it if you don't care, because this give you a good opportunity to brag on your facility and your staff and all that, but that's found on pages 16 through 20. So Sheriff Steve Hopper, please.
Read you the letter that's in your packet from Ms. Beth Ash, Executive Director there, that she basically tells you that the inspection this year that we met all the minimum standards with the jail. And like the mayor said about the commissioners and him, you know, our staff is the same way over there. If they weren't working together and pulling as a team for me and doing me such a good job, because I sure can't do it by myself. And my staff is just tremendous, and they take such good care of me. And but like I said the other night over at the Ag Center, since day one, since we've been moved into the new jail, and we passed our first inspection without any deficiencies first time around, and we've passed it every year since then. And we could not do that without such, you know, tremendous staff that we have over there. Our jail administrator, Ms. Beth Davis, Lieutenant Randy Glover, and Chief Roberts. Everybody pulls their weight, and everybody tries to keep, you know, and it's everybody that works there from top to bottom. It's a team, and I just appreciate everybody. But we couldn't do that without y'all's help either. You know, y'all fund us and give us the monies and the things that we need. And I appreciate y'all too, very much.
Thanks, Sheriff. Thanks, sir. But I think it's important for us to understand and realize, you know, we built a $10 million facility, which we did, that the condition of it is kept up and the inspections continue to go as they are. So thank you, Sheriff. Item number 10, 11, 12 are a presentation of the minutes, the April 24th Joint Economic Community Development Board meeting, the June 25th, 2018 Budget and Finance meeting, and the June 25th, 2018 Personnel Policy Committee meeting. Anybody got any questions about any of the minutes? Any of the chairman got anything you'd like to add? All right, we are required by law when we, anytime we borrow money, and we borrow a tax anticipation note each year during time that tax collections are not happening, which is basically after February, people are not paying much tax at all. So we have to have some money to get us through till that time of the collection. And most of we'll get some in October, a pretty good piece in December, because that's the end of the year. A lot of your banks are paying what they pay, and then the biggest part of it is in February. So we have to, we borrow $1 million from our education debt service to go into the general fund where we continue to pay bills. Just because you're not getting any money don't mean the bills don't keep coming, because they do. They keep coming. Payroll's got to be made. So we're required by law to present this report, which is found on pages 27 through 32 of your packet. And all it says, we borrowed $1 million for education debt service. There is no interest rate because it's our money. So it's there's a cost to it, and we have to pay that back by June the 30th of each year. Any questions on it? All right. Item number 14. It's going to be the second reading of Resolution 6-2018-15. The sales tax resolution repealed. This is the second reading, found on pages 33 through 34. And you'll see on the first reading it passed 20-0. Mr. Beller, do you have anything to add as far as anything new?
No, sir.
Any questions from any of the commissioners on Resolution 6-2018-15? If no questions, we need a motion and a second to approve on the second reading. This will be the final reading for the passage of it.
Motion to approve. Second.
Jimmy, I heard you first. Motion by Jimmy Winfrey, second by Frank Woodard to approve Resolution 6-2018-15 on the second reading. Anyone want to speak to the motion? If not, roll call, please.
Mark Jones,
Yes.
Barry Edelman,
Yes.
Philip Enoch,
Philip, yes or no? All right, I heard him. Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Carolyn Bowles,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
Yes.
Pam Billington,
Yes.
Matthew Inyard,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
Yes.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Billy Woodard,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Dennis Hackett,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
Yes.
Frank Woodard,
Yes.
Motion carries 20-0 unanimously. Item number 15, resolution, and what the resolution just passed, it puts it in the voters' hands in November, on the November election. They'll be able to vote whether to keep it on or to take it off. That 0.75% that originally went to the education debt service to help pay for the school debt, which will be paid off June 30th, 2019 at the current schedule. All right, item number 15, Resolution 7-2018-01. This is a resolution to amend the Smith County zoning ordinance to amend Article 6, Zoning District Section 4-1, Agricultural District A1. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Sonia King, our Land Use Administrator. She is going to conduct a public hearing. Come on forward, Ms. Sonia. And after the public hearing, she's going to open the public hearing, close the public hearing, and then we'll vote on it one way or the other.
At this time, I'd like to open the public hearing for case number 007-2018-001. The purpose of the hearing is to obtain public comment regarding the proposed amendment to zoning ordinance Article 6 zoning district, section 4-1, agricultural district A1, area regulation 1A, minimum lot size. The recommendation from the Smith County Planning Commission is to change the A1 district minimum lot size with only public water and no adequate fire protection from 2 acres to 1 acre. At this time, I'd like to take any public comment, and if we would like that you state your name loudly, please, for the records.
My name's Digger Poindexter. I sat on the county court 8 years. I was on the county court when the zoning was passed. And the 2 acres to acre, that was one of the things that was several commissioners on there with me. I think it was passed 12 to 10, I believe. Anyway, that a lot of people was worried about cutting up farms and stuff like that. That was one concern with a lot of people. And I remember discussing that night at the court meeting that about out in the country, like if you had lots that's too close together, if you had like 2 homes side by side, one catching on fire, catching a joint house on fire. And I remember that being discussed. But anyway, that was a concern of mine, being in the real estate business and looking at of that 2 acre minimum and thinking about a lot of people that were buying land and either building homes or putting on new modular double wide homes. And a lot of them were older people. Nearly all the time when anybody sells their farm and they choose to sell it in tracts, they'll put some we call private restrictions on it, which are either recorded separate in a separate document in the registrar's office or put in the deed. And if they're recorded separate, the deed will refer back to those recorded restrictions. And always, I've never seen one that hadn't. It'll say that all property that has been mowed in the past has to be kept mowed and clean and neat appearance. So when you're talking about mowing 2 acres of grass, that's a lot of grass. 2 acres of grass is. That was one thing that bothered me at the time it was passed. And but anyway, that was a concern. The changing it from 2 acres to 1 acre, that's not going to save any farms. It's not going to save any farms at all, or saving farms. At the time, and there's several commissioners that are still here that are considered good friends, and were on there at the same time that I was those 8 years. When the zoning was passed, a comment was made that we'll make some mistakes, because that's a big undertaking, putting zoning on a county that didn't have any. And but it was said that we'll make some mistakes, but we can always go back and correct them, And I felt good about that, And there's been a few things changed, I think, in the last several years. A lot of people have, in agriculture, they've got some exceptions where they could do body shops and different things of commercial use out in the agricultural district and stuff like that. And but anyway, I feel like that at the time that we were trying to do that, I think the current property assessor was Harold Massey, I believe. I believe it's Mr. Harold Massey. I couldn't remember the planner's name, Mike, I'm for sure. But it's not important. But the planner at the time was for the change, along with the property assessor. And anyway, it didn't get changed. And that's of course been several years ago. And go back to the issue of a home burning next to another home out in the county. Of course, everybody's here to fear Mr. Jackie Carver, And so I talked to him later after the vote, and I asked him, I said, Jackie, do you remember when it's been that far out in the county, that another home burnt that was too close to it concerning the division of property, you know, that we did, and he said, "No, Digger, I hadn't." So, you know, so anyway, that was just one thing that he verified, that he didn't remember any homes burning like that. And that's one of the fear of the commissioners at the time, you know. But as some people here know, that we've got a couple of lots changed a few months ago from agriculture to residential, you know, and but I think it's better for the county, it's better for the property owners, you know, that we do, you know, that the court does that. But anyway, that's my thoughts.
Thank you.
So are you for or against?
100%, yes, sir.
100% what?
To change it from, to change it, I was for it several years ago, and that nothing's happened to change my mind.
Any other public comments?
Who's mostly pushing for the change, just the real estate companies?
No, sir, I get calls that, like Digger made a point that's spot on. I'll get calls from people that maybe they have, well, they're getting to an age where they don't want to put up or mow that 2-acre yard. They want to consolidate down, or they can't handle that farm anymore. They want to just break off an acre with their house and sell their farm to someone else to farm. So that seems to be a topic that comes up quite a bit. But I mean, also, of course, I'm sorry, I do get calls where someone just is wanting to subdivide. Maybe they have a big farm and they want to give their a child an acre of it, and then another child an acre way over here, so that way they can get their family on the same farm. But currently, with only one living structure per parcel of land, I can't approve it.
Well, you've been out inspecting all these places, you can't get them cleaned up. If you got 1 acre there, you got a mess. If you got 2 side by side, you got double to look at. You got a lot of places you can't even get cleaned up. And you know, one I'm talking to you about.
Well, in that scenario though, we've got other things coming into play regarding septic, so, you know, kind of a different scenario you got going on that one. But we're, right now, we're
You go
doing
ahead.
public,
Yeah, you
during
go ahead.
public.
From the people in my area, they were concerned about building subdivisions right in the middle of a farming area. You know, I can understand Digger's point. I can understand the elderly people. But there's a lot of farmers that take pride in their farm also. And they don't want to see a subdivision right there that they wake up and look at in the morning. It would be nice to have the subdivisions in a certain area. But you can't do that all the time either. But I just hate to see them cutting it down smaller and having houses right side by side in the rural area.
Now, anytime, say you have let's for example, a 50-acre farm, and it's got 250 foot of road frontage. If they are breaking off, they have to have that road frontage in order to do so. You're only going to be able to break off so many times on the road. If it's a subdivision that someone's wanting to come in, they would have to go before the planning commission, go through the subdivision guidelines and so forth. Any other comments? No other comments? We're going to close the public hearing for now. Turn over to the mayor Nesbitt.
All right, Commissioners, you heard the public hearing that we had and the comments that were made. Of course, your resolution 07-2018-01 would approve a lowering of the 2 acres to 1 acre. And just for your information, every other district already has 1 acre or less as a minimum acreage lot in it. he was speaking of the side setback lines. If you got a 10-acre tract or a 1-acre tract, your side setback lines are the same, so technically you could build a house on the same distance, whether you had a 10-acre tract or 1-acre tract, you still build them the same distance apart. Right, Digger?
Yeah.
That's it. And Sonia, you're correct. Okay. So what's the will of the county commission on resolution 1?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Charles Kent, second by Larry Edelman to approve resolution 1. Anyone want to speak to the motion?
This was approved by the planning commission,
Yes, sir. Unanimously.
unanimous vote.
Yes, sir. Anyone else want to speak to the motion? If not, roll call, please.
Mark Jones,
Yes.
Larry Edelman,
Yes.
Billy Bass,
Yes.
Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Carolyn Bowles,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
Yes.
Pam Billington,
Yes.
Matthew Inyard,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
No.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Billy Woodard,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Dennis Hackett,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
No.
Frank Woodard,
No.
Motion carries 17-3. Take that back. 16-3. Mr. Aney left a few minutes ago, so 16-3, motion still carries. Item number 16 and 17, I'm asking for that to be grouped together as appointment of our genealogist, and historian, which is John Wagner Jr., and also asking for appointment on the beer board, Mr. Tommy Parker. We've had 2 beer board members resign, and we still have 1 vacancy after, if y'all approve this. Mr. Ronnie Maggart resigned, and Mr. Jerry Hicks resigned. We have 5 members on the beer board, and Mr. Tommy Parker used to serve on the beer board years ago. He says he's willing to serve again, and I asked him that. So I'm asking for resolution 2 and 3 to be approved unless anybody wants to pull it out and vote it on separately.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion by Larry Edelman, second by Matthew Inyard to approve resolution 2 and 3. Anyone want to speak to the motion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Items number 18, 19, 20, 21, I'd like to ask for those to be grouped together. These, first one, 18, is Smith County Trustees year-to-date cash receipts, disbursements, and balances year-ending 2018. Next one is the Circuit Court Circuit Court's Office Financial Report year-ending June 30, 2018, and the General Sessions Court Annual Financial Report year-ending June 30, 2018, and the Chancery Court year-ending June 30, 2018. Anybody want any of those separated and voted on separately? If not, what's the will of the commission?
Motion to approve.
A motion by Dennis Hackett, here a second.
Second.
Second by Tommy Bain. Approve items 18, 19, 20, and 21. Anyone want to speak to the motion? If not, roll call, please.
Mark Jones, Larry Edelman,
Yes.
Billy Bass, Jimmy Winfrey,
Yes.
Carolyn Bowles,
Yes.
Daniel Cripps,
Yes.
Pam Billington,
Yes.
Matthew Inyard,
Yes.
Ron Cowan,
Yes.
Linda Nixon,
Yes.
Billy Woodard,
Yes.
Barbara Knappel,
Yes.
Charles Kent,
Yes.
Joey Nixon,
Yes.
Tommy Bain,
Yes.
Dennis Hackett,
Yes.
Thomas Gibbs,
Yes.
David Gross,
Yes.
Frank Woodard,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 22 and 23 are not to be voted on, but they are information for you, and if you have any questions. The first one is the comp time report. It shows what people have in their balance, which if you look, the available balance is their current amount. If they earned any, it would be in the year-to-date earned. If they had taken any, it would be in the year-to-date taken. Of course, Ms. Davis is here to explain this if we need to with HR. Any questions on the comp time report? On the overtime report, it shows what people have been paid for in the county for overtime. I did question Mr. Johnny Lee about, there was one person that had gotten quite a bit of overtime in the 207 fund. That's actually, we're working day and night, trying to keep the cover down on the landfill. And we had one individual who was willing to work anytime we asked him, some were not, so that's the reason he had more than others had. So that's the reason that's there. Any other question concerning the overtime report? If not, moving on to item 24, your election of notaries, which is on the last page. You have Ms. Judy Smith, Robin Renee Colson Brewer, Shauna McLemore, Phyllis McCall, Leah Bowman, Debbie Green, Jessica Brooke Holloman, Jacqueline T. Manning. Will the commission on the notaries?
Motion to approve.
Who did that? Motion by Matthew Inyard, second by David Gross. Approved notaries. Anyone want to speak to the motion? If not, all in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item number 25.
Not getting out of here that easy. So I think everybody knows this is the mayor's last night with us. He served in that capacity for the last 16 years, but he's also served as the chairman of this board for the last 16 years too. And we all got together and wanted to do something to show our appreciation. And I sit down and tried to think about everything to talk about as far as his accomplishments, but we'd be here all night if we talked about everything he's accomplished in the last 16 years. But I do want to take a chance to thank him for his friendship, for his leadership, everything he's done for the community and the people here. We can't thank you enough. There's not enough words to put out there. So we want something you can put on your new desk, but you can get a clock so you're never late. But I'm going to read what it's got on here for everybody. It says, in appreciation of 16 years of service to the citizens of Smith County, from the Smith County Commission, Mayor Michael Nesbitt, 2002 to 2018. So I know we've done it already, but let's do it one more time. Let's give him a round of applause.
Come on up here. Here's your next mayor. I'm going to advise him not to do that. So, Joey, thank you. Yes, sir. Joey, Mr. Enoch was our chairman pro tem, vice chairman pro tem. So, thank you for giving me this award. And I wanted my family to come up here because they've allowed me to do this. So, thank y'all for giving me this. And I didn't think I had a problem being late.
I didn't say you did. I didn't know you. We're just going to make sure you don't. So.
All right, well, you're good. Watch that camera right there.
I handed it over and told him to hit the button.
Well, they put it at the table.
Thank you, Joe. Yes, sir. Come stay with me. All right. Thank you to all of you that said nice things. It makes it sound like I'm going to die tomorrow. So. I'm not planning on it. I'm going to have to put words. But anyways, I don't know. I'm like Joey. I don't know how to really put it in words what all this is. I tell people that I had to learn. I already kind of had this in my heart, but I had to learn too as a mayor. You have to be humble to do your job. You have to be stern sometimes, but you also have to be humble, and you got to listen to people, and you've got to make decisions every day. Every day, you're gonna make a decision. Some days I'll make a decision that's gonna make you mad. Some day I'll make a decision to make you happy. So it's pluses and minuses. As far as politics is concerned, so those of you that are running for mayor, just as long as you can keep 51% of the people happy, you're in good shape. But I always try to do better than that. But I just want to thank y'all. It's really been, it's been time consuming. It's took a lot of time away from my family. But I have no complaints about that. They may, they probably do. But I believe if you're going to do a job, you got to do it 110%. And if you do that, I think you can make people happy. Last thing I'll say is, when I say make people happy, I don't know if you'll do that, but you'll make them satisfied. Maybe. I remember not too long after being elected, my dad called me. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and I was actually still working. You want to know what I was doing? And I said, I'm still at work. He said, what are you still doing working? I said, well, I'm just trying to get my job done. And I was just talking to him. I said, I don't know if people are happy with what I'm doing or not. And he asked me a question that I've never forgot. He said, are you doing all that you can do? I said, yes, sir, as far as I know, I'm doing all I can do. He said, well, then you're doing all you can. So if you do all you can do, that's all you can do. That was good advice, and so thank y'all for letting me serve as your county mayor. And to the public out there, thank the Courier for always covering the county commission meetings for the Smith County Insider. Kobe, you're doing a good job for the community. The Courier has been doing a good job for the community for a lot of years. I just thank Sherry and Ginger and Sonia, Daisy. Daisy's kind of sitting off the side. She must not want to be around you tonight. But Daisy is our, as far as the finance department, we started the finance department, and all Ginger and Sherry and Amanda work for Daisy. Daisy works for the mayor. Of course, the county commission appoints that position. And I just encourage you to keep her in that position because she's got a lot of experience. She's took the time to go to the classes, which I never did, and other people have never done. She's done that, and she does a good job. She does a good job taking care of her staff. And Jeff Crockett, sorry, I almost overlooked you. Mr. Jeff Crockett, our EMS director, he has done a fabulous job. Mr. Jackie Carver, our county fire chief, and Mr. Sonny Carter, our EMA director. And I promised I wouldn't start off naming names, so I'll forget somebody get mad. But Jeff, thank you for being here tonight. Thank my family for being here tonight. I'm looking for one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Got it. So here's a second. Charles beat you to it. Motion by Dennis Hackett, second by Charles Kent to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Can I say one thing before we leave?
Yes, sir.
I've enjoyed serving with y'all. I may be back at the next meeting, I may not. So it's been a pleasure to serve with y'all, and it's like part of the family to me. I've really enjoyed it. And the one that's not running for county commissioner, good luck. It's a new job or whatever.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. All right, once again, just thank the nursing home for having us tonight, feeding us tonight. Mr. Allen, Mr.
Hall.
Allen Hall. Y'all just thank him on your way out. And Miss Mandy Shrum, she was a Davenport, now she's married, so Mandy Shrum. Thank her if you get a chance. Thank y'all.